When we're trying to think of Dodgeball, who the lead actor is, who's the lead actor?
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
The two names that came to my head are Vince Vaughn,
yeah,
who's in it,
yeah,
and Nick Saban. I don't know why Nick Saban came to my head. What's up, everybody? We're back for a video today. As you can see here, it's not just my ugly face. We have a very nice man in here, my good friend Steven Box.
How's it going?
We're doing something a little different. Like I said, we're gonna be ranking the kits, not necessarily all the kits or like the most popular ones. What it's gonna be is the best and worst kits in European football of this season. By the way, for full disclosure, I haven't shown him any of these. I want it to be a full surprise first reaction. So I think most of these are gonna be just like his first honest reaction. So let's get into it. So the first one we have here, the Liverpool away kit. And now just off of first impressions, we have this stylish, kind of a beigey color with some nice green and red trim. I probably should have introduced the tiers. We have our God, which is the best. Decent is kind of like, I'd cop that, but it's not necessarily on my list. Meh, you really feel completely indifferent about. Not for me, obviously, being something that's, you know, it's not for you, but it's not necessarily complete garbage.
Yeah.
And then gross is just, it's just absolutely complete garbage.
I have a feeling there'll at least be a couple.
There are going to be a couple in there. I think every tier is going to be filled with something.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go back to Liverpool's kit.
So my first thought, honestly, was it's kind of Miami Dolphins colors. I really like Liverpool's jerseys that they had last year. Their home one, the red and turquoise and white. I actually still like this. I wouldn't say it's godly, but to me it's still like clean and simple. I don't know. I don't feel like it's too much.
I think for me, I'm kind of on the same lines of, I really like that like beigeish cream color. I think that works really well. I do really like that. I think this is one of my favorite kits, not necessarily.
Oh, really?
I just aesthetically. I don't think I would put it in God tier, but I think aesthetically, I think this just works with the colors. I think we're both pretty similar on this one. So what would you give this one?
I would say it's decent. I don't know. Maybe you feel it's up. I know you just mentioned it's not godly. But
yeah, I already kind of gave away it's not godly.
I would agree it's decent.
Okay, I think that's where we're gonna put it. I would agree. It's not the top tier. I think there's better kits out there, but it's definitely better than, like, I'm not completely indifferent about it. I look at that and I like it. So let's move on to the next one. We have Liverpool's home kit. Liverpool this season has done some things right and I think done some things wrong. They have very controversial, very polarizing kits. So they're doing something right at least. They're getting people talking about it.
Yeah.
That moves us to their third kit. What do you think about this one?
I don't like it. I do not.
Good.
There are certain colors I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of like red and blue. Yellow and red, like you are ketchup and mustard. Like, are you working for like construction or the police? I do not like this.
Red and yellow is definitely a combination that, like, I don't think it works. Like, it's definitely the mustard and ketchup, like you're saying. I think there's very little examples of that ever working, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. I honestly don't give a shit about this one. It's it's just gross. And they did the checkerboard thing on their kit last season. Basically, the whole front of it was a checkerboard pattern, and I didn't like it. And I don't like that they brought it back for the collar and the sleeves.
Yeah, and I feel like a jersey like this isn't necessarily uncommon, but whenever I see it, I'm just like, it doesn't make me want to root for your team.
No, and compared to the kit that they have, it's just really clean, nice accents on it. This is just garbage. This is gross. This is barf. Like, this is not good.
The first one had nice manners, and then this one's just like screaming at you of where their latte is.
This is definitely it's the Karen of kits, isn't it?
100%.
It's the twin, the younger twin, or like the step kid who just comes in and just starts shouting at family dinner. Nobody wants them there.
Yeah, no.
This one's absolutely going in gross.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would agree with that.
I'm glad we can agree on that, because I was gonna have to throw punches if you didn't say that. Okay, moving on to our next one, we have the Brighton away kit. Now this one, I think mint is usually a pretty good color to pull off.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty hard to go wrong with mint, especially with black accents. I think it's a good combination. But what do you think? What are you thinking when you see this one?
I actually really like this. Like, this one might be godly for me. Like, it's just a really clean color. I think too, I would like wear that jersey. The designs on the sleeves like give it some, good variety. The color is really clean. There's not a ton of stuff on there.
You have a pretty simple, just teal mint color. with some black lettering and numbering, and then the sleeves kind of just give that extra element for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like aesthetically pleasing for me, and it's not.
I mean, it's as simple as that, isn't it?
It's not a checkerboard.
Right. It has that. It's not a checkerboard, which is the bane of my existence, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is kind of strange. I thought we were going to disagree on more, but I think this goes God tier.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay, interesting. All right, so let's move on to our next one then.
I am a big fan of black and neon colors. So maybe that's not quite neon, but...
I think you're on the right track, because the comments that I saw about this online were very much Tron vibes.
I can see it.
Like a nice biker suit and Tron vibe.
Like they all just like got, some really nice motorcycles outside waiting for them. I do feel like maybe it could do like a little bit more in creativity. But as far as just being like a good looking kit, I give them a thumbs up.
See, I would almost say the opposite in the fact that I think they've tried to be creative with the sleeves here, and I almost don't know what's going on with the kind of the rounded pattern, the stripe on the sleeve. I don't know if I really like that, but I'll give them effort for trying creativity. But it's the one maybe knock I have on this. The other really bright spot I want to bring about this kit is that Norwich has done a great job of picking their sponsor, because a lot of times teams just pick like whatever sponsor would give them the most money, and a lot of times it's like a dodgy betting company or something like that. Lotus Cars, I don't know if you know anything about Lotus Cars.
I don't.
Supercars, like a kind of an entry-level supercar, make really, really nice vehicles. That's something you don't see very often. You don't see a supercar sponsoring kit. So I like that for the uniqueness and what the sponsor is. I think that's really dope just in itself.
No, I like it.
Okay, I think this is not going as planned. I think we're going to agree on this one as well. Where would you put this one?
I would say decent.
Yeah.
For me, it's decent. To me, it's closer to meh than it is God.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I think it still has enough to be decent.
Let's move on to the next one then. As much as this one has going on, the one that we have on the list has even more going on. What do you think about this one?
I don't like that. I do not like that. I'm not a huge purple fan in general, but I also like it's offset, and I don't like the stripe down the middle.
It's offset, no Migos.
Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that.
As a diehard Spurs fan myself, I don't get what this thing they've had this past couple of years about picking kits and designs that have literally nothing to do with anything. Like this is nothing. I like this Cosmo kit that we had. It was something that I saw when I first saw it. I was not really a fan of it, but seeing it with the black shorts and seeing some people wear it out in the streets, like I've grown on that one's grown on me a little bit. This one I don't think will ever grow on me. This is nothing.
Yeah, I don't like this.
This means nothing to the club. As far as I know, they might release something that says like, has some kind of significance, but as of right now, this means nothing and this looks like nothing. For me, it goes in gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It almost would go in not for me. I think the Cosmos one went in not for me at first, and then it grew on me, and it's probably a meh. This one is straight to gross. Like there's no redeeming qualities about this one. So let's move on to the next one, and that is a little bit better of a kit in my opinion. Newly promoted to Serie A, Venezia. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but they're essentially the Venice team in Italy. A very interesting and very kind of polarizing to some people kind of color combination going on here. Let's go with their away kit first, and then we'll move on to their home kit. What's striking about this one?
It does have a little bit of an identity crisis to me, but I do like the black and gold. I just don't know where the green and orange are coming in.
So the green and orange, as you can see on this home kit, are very pronounced in the kit, and that's because if you look at the badge, that's part of the badge identity.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's where those colors are coming in. Let me kind of spoil this a little bit for you. This kit, especially this away kit, might be the most talked about kit on Twitter. Like most well received kit in maybe Europe.
Really?
Would you believe that?
I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Personally, for you, you're probably not feeling that way.
Not for me. I wouldn't say it's gross because I do think that there are some redeeming qualities. It is working its way that way.
Interesting.
I would just like, either just go with the black and gold,
Yeah.
or do the green and orange.
So for me, this one I think isn't decent for me. I like this kit. I like what they've done. The accents I think are really tastefully done. I think that the gold or the green and the orange aren't really supposed to be there with the rest of the kit, the gold and the black combo. But I think the way they've done it subtly works for me. On the other hand, this home kit, I like what they've tried to do, but I don't like it.
See, and that's funny. I actually like this one
Really?
more. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I think this one has like, I like the creativity of it, and I don't know, it just has a better base to me.
This like sun flare gradient is just like not for me at all.
Really? Yeah, I like it.
Oh
I
my
do
God,
like.
that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna compromise it. How
Okay.
about how we put them both in meh?
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's probably fair. Because this one for me is going up in decent. Almost it's almost on God tier.
Oh really?
It's almost on God
no,
tier.
no, not even.
This one I put a lot of thought into possibly buying if I have the
Oh, really?
if I have the dollars, I would think about it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, let's put them both in meh then.
yeah.
Vinicia.
I appreciate that you like it.
It's one of those things where I don't know if it's just hitting the right notes for me. You know, it's like a wine. You buy a wine and some people might like it. It's a strong red. Maybe it doesn't hit your palate the same way as it does somebody else, but this one hits my palate the right way.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Well, we're not gonna agree on everything, that's for sure. Okay, so let's move it down to the next one, and this one again is one that people are very indecisive about, let's say. And this is the inner home and away kit.
I like it and I don't like it.
What do you like about it and what don't you like about it? Because I can tell you immediately the things I don't like about it.
I do like the colors. I do like blue and gold and like the white. The snake skin is a bit weird on the top.
I don't get the snake thing about it. I've tried to look at it, like I've tried to look up why that might be, and so far I haven't found out like why this is incorporated in it. The heavy snake elements of the snake skin on the home and that full-on snake on the away kit.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that decision's about.
So they're not the snakes.
No, it's just Inter Milan. It's not. This isn't dodgeball. No, I'm pretty sure that somebody's not going to come out and play dodgeball.
I can appreciate what they're going for. It's not, again, not necessarily for me into meh. I don't know. It's decent. It's okay.
I would place the white kit in not for me, and the home kit I think in decent or in meh. I love the color combination. I think the snakeskin almost works, but just doesn't. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's bad. I think they've done something right here.
Yeah, I would say maybe simplify it a little bit
Yeah.
more. I don't know. There needs to be some tweaks in it.
Is it not for me or meh? I think is kind of what we're teetering on right
Yeah,
now.
for me it's meh. For
Okay.
me.
I can back that because I do like the blue kit. I think the home kit is almost decent for me. So I think meh is probably a fair compromise.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to this one because this one's another one that is very polarizing on Twitter. And I think I'm leaning in one direction more than the other one. And that's going to be Juventus's third kit for this season.
So do they just finish up the Tour de France and then go right into the soccer stadium?
That's what that's the overall vibe I think people are getting from this one. It's a little Tour de France bicycle-y.
Too many colors. It's kind of almost not as bad as the ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
You got some really bright colors going on. I don't love like the big logos.
I think these colors can work. Obviously, I designed our logo for One-on-One Sports with similar colors to this. I think the blue and the yellows can pop together.
Yeah, I agreed.
But for this, the overall design of this, the way they've laid it out with the different stripes and textures and shapes doesn't work for me at all. And like you mentioned right there, the sponsor, the big Jeep 4xe, whatever that is, electric, is just so daunting, and like in the middle, it just takes all your attention away from the rest of the kit.
It's like a Ricky Bobby, like.
It very much is. Yeah, you would expect this in NASCAR to be like 80 other logos around it in a flame suit. Yeah, this is not for me at all.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
It's almost in gross, and I wouldn't fight an argument to put it in gross, but I think it's not for me.
Yeah, I would say not for me. I wouldn't Yeah.
Because I think the distinguishing factor for me is when you look at this compared to these other two kits we have in gross right now, the Tottenham kit is nothing like we've described, and the Liverpool kit combination just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Where I think I've seen them trying to do something here, and I think the colors are decent.
Yeah, if I saw somebody wearing it, I would probably look and be like, okay, you know, whatever, you have your own choice.
Mm-hmm.
The other two grosses are like, I'm looking at you and judging your life choices.
Yeah, if I saw somebody with these kits on out in the streets, I'm asking them why you bought this.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's move on to the next kit. All right, so our next kit is another one that I think has been somewhat polarizing. I've seen a lot of hate, a lot of distaste for it, but also a lot of people really liking this one. A couple of kit reviews I've seen actually placing this one as their favorite in all of Europe. And we're talking about the Atletico Madrid home kit. They're revamped. They've always typically done just general vertical stripes. They're going for this kind of grungy texture look. What do you think about this one?
I like the grungy look to it. Like, I do appreciate that. The stripes are a bit like, I wish that do like the grunge throughout the whole stripe then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that would look better.
I actually think that the grunge works where it is. My problem with the stripes actually is that they look like overalls or lederhosen or something. They look like two big mounts that you have on
almost
your
like
chest.
if you were like to distort it even more.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a giant H, like they're a helipad landing. Yeah. For somebody who put it as their favorite, I would argue. I would
definitely argue with this one. I think this one's gonna probably be a meh for me because I don't hate it, I don't love it. But if we go down and we look at their third kit, where's Waldo looking like with the sleeves and the collars again is not my thing. So I think compared to this, I think it's better.
For sure. I would agree with that. It's definitely better with this. Man, just like twist those and have it be a stripe rather than a checker.
Right.
And that would look okay.
And this is one of my favorite colors in the world. Like I love this shade of blue.
Yeah.
But the way they've done this just doesn't work. So, okay, so I think if we're looking at this as a whole, probably meh, right?
Yeah.
Meh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I don't think we've done that one dirty. And if we're looking at our list as a whole right now, about halfway through, I think we've done a pretty good job of judging these because we're not too heavy in one category. I think meh is going to be overloaded a little bit just because it's kind of indifferent, right?
I mean, that's a little bit of like the true, like, not my thing, but like you did a good job of like...
Yeah, I think we're on the right track here. If we move on to this next one, this is another one that really struck me in a weird way when I looked at it. And we're going to look at these. I have one of these kits to go into our tier list, but we're going to look at these as a whole because they all have very similar patterns but different colors.
Yeah.
And that's Rayo Vallecano, La Liga, their whole series of kits they're doing this year, their home, away, and their third kit. So this one immediately was going to be on the, I thought we were going to put this into gross when I first saw this.
Oh, really?
Because I was like, what the hell is this lightning bolt across the chest?
Yeah.
And then you look closer, obviously it's coming from the crest. And they just transpose that on the kit. And I see what they're doing there.
Maybe they're just really big Harry Potter fans.
I don't know. Do they like Harry Potter that much in Spain? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm judging their culture now. But so I think the other thing that works well with this is if we look at all three of these, they're pretty simplistic other than that. There's not much going on. Like you wouldn't want to have a giant lightning bolt in the middle of your kit and then like 80 different textures and stripes and stuff. Yeah. So I think what they've done a little bit on the sleeves, but I think overall it works for me.
Yeah, the blue's definitely my least favorite of the three.
I think so too. And it looks like it almost has like a little bit of a gradient going from light to darker.
Yeah.
That I don't necessarily love.
Which then like throws off the arm design. And,
yeah.
But the other two are good. The other two are good. The blue drags it down a little bit.
I will say this guy, whoever this is very confident that you're gonna, he's pointing at you. You will like this kid.
Yeah. No, I will not.
I will not. I think it's not doing it for me. I think, like we said, I think the black one is our favorite. My personal favorite as well. But overall, as a series of kits, where do you think we're going to put this one?
I would say meh.
I would say decent, actually.
Really?
For me, just because it's not necessarily... It's at the bottom of these. I would definitely buy that Liverpool kit. I'd probably buy the Norwich one. But this one here, I wouldn't buy, but I like what they've done. It's definitely very different. I think the design works overall. Mm-hmm. It's just not necessarily my personal taste, but I think it works.
I'll give you that, because the black and the red and the white and the red are good.
And the color schemes are good.
Yeah, the color schemes are good. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
it's
cool.
just I hate that blue one.
I think if we're to break these down into 3 separate kits, I think they'd all go in different tiers. But as a whole, I think it's probably fair if we put it in. I'm okay with if you want to put it in meh, or do you think it sits in decent? I'm okay with either one, honestly.
I do see where you're coming from, that it is decent, because like the black and the red actually are good.
Okay,
they're good.
Let's leave it there. We're definitely at the bottom though. It's not this Liverpool kit's it's kind of doing something for me. So let's leave it there. Okay, so if we move on to our next kit, what are you thinking about this one?
It's the one I don't know. I like their numbers. I like the.
So by the way, that's not a number. That's a sponsor.
Oh.
Which kind of throws a different element into it, doesn't it?
I don't know. It fits. I like the zigzaggy pattern.
It does fit. I'll give you that.
It's the one case that I will say the checker doesn't gross me out. It's not like my favorite, but I do like appreciate the contrast. I like the yellow swoop. I like it.
Interesting. I think that for me, here's what I do like about it, because I don't like the kit overall, but what I do like about it, I like that they made the Nike tick yellow. I think that gives a little different of a contrast. I like what they've tried to do with the pattern, and I think the pattern overall does work. I'm glad they chose the zigzaggy as the main pattern, because if they would have flipped that and the checker was the main pattern, it would have been a no for me. But I think the way it works, it's okay. I'm not a big fan of this one overall, to be honest. But if you like it, we can put it a little bit higher. Where do you think we're gonna put this one?
Where do I think it should go, or where do I think?
Where do you think it should go?
I think it's decent. Honestly, it's that it's one that I would be like, ooh, I like that.
I think similarly to the Rayo Vallecano, when they've done something different, I think they've pulled it off. Yeah. So I'm okay with we put it in decent. Okay. I think while it's not necessarily for me, I think they've chosen something out of the box and they've pulled it off.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. I wouldn't ever buy it, but I think it does a decent job. Okay, so 2 of the most popular kits in all of Europe. These ones have been blowing up on Twitter. We'll start with this home kit, or this is actually the away kit, the PSG away kit. What are you thinking about this one?
It's clean, which again, you and I appreciate. I don't know. It's got it's well designed. It's not, again, it's almost like kind of the Chelsea thing for me. It's not necessarily for me, but I appreciate it. You can tell a lot of hard work went into that. I think that there's some successes here.
I think that there's 2 things that I really like about this kit. Overall, I would agree. I think it's decent. I think that it's a kit I would definitely wear. Like if this was at a bargain price or something like that, I'd probably pick it up. The black and the pink usually always work, and they've done a good job of putting it subtly to where it's not overpowering the rest of the kit. So I think overall design, this is a success. I think.
I would agree. Yeah.
I think we're gonna go straight to decent on this one. It's not quite God tier. God tier, like I've seen multiple people put it as a God tier kit. I think it's slightly below that for me, which is funny that now we're looking at this about halfway through. I wouldn't have thought like Brighton was our only God tier one, but it is what it is. We can make some adjustments if we need to at the end. But so let's move on to the next one, which is the PSG home kit. A very traditional color scheme. They always go with a navy blue with some red accent somewhere. This time they've chosen to go with a little bit of a red accent on the sleeve and the collar, a little bit of white border around it. What are you thinking about this one?
I like the jerseys. I don't like the jersey as a whole. I don't like the collars.
You don't like that kind of collar.
I don't.
It does feel very 70s for me.
Yeah, it draws away. Like I think that plain blue looks really good, and it looks, if I'm looking at this right, it looks like there is some like texture to it. Yeah. And I really like that. I think like just take one of those stripes out for me, and I think it would be a little bit more simplistic. I also just kind of like that look in general. Yeah. But like you're saying, it is a bit 70s. It almost looks baseballish to me. Yeah. Where would you put it in? Like if you look at it compared to the other ones we have in decent, is it up to that par or is it below that par? It's like right on the border. Like if they just tweaked a little things, it absolutely would be decent. But for me, it is a little bit meh.
It's not really popping like the white kit does with like the pink elements and the stripe and everything. It is kind of meh. I think it's well done, but it is kind of meh.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's fair. Okay, let's move on to our next one, and that is RB Leipzig and their home kit, which is another one that has been given a lot of praise on Twitter and just in the overall football sphere. What are you saying about this one?
I like it. I actually really do like it.
This one came out early last season. I think they played their last game of the season in this one. And immediately I saw this and I said, this is going to be the best kit of all 2021.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is might be my favorite. They did a good job of like displacing it where like it's not too much on. It very much reminds me of that RSL kit.
Yep.
And we're both big fans of that kit.
Yep.
I say the only knock I would have on this, and it's a very, very minor knock, is that you have the giant Red Bull logo in the middle as your sponsor logo. If they were to try to find a way to do like a very simplistic logo, so it's not kind of the same thing, I think would be a good way to go about it. But the way it is, I mean, it's a beautiful kit the way it is. I mean, even on the pitch, like that looks fantastic.
Yeah, totally agree.
And with the red shorts, red socks, I think perfect. Okay, I think, this is God tier for me.
Yep.
This goes right up there.
Yeah.
And this is definitely better than the Brighton kit for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. We have a couple more kits to get through. Rapid fire, let's go through this Hearts away kit. Now this one is, they're a Scottish team, so a very low level team in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. But I wanted to pick a couple that weren't super famous clubs, just because I think they did either a really good job or a really bad job of making their kits. So I wanted to show some love or some hate, depending on what your opinion is. But for this one, for me, the design, the simple kind of texture pattern of the shirt itself, the sponsor placement, the crest placement, I think everything about this works really, really well. And although like a burgundy and that shade of blue isn't necessarily the best combination, I really like it, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, like it does almost have that 70s look that we were just kind of talking about, but I actually think it works. Like you're saying, like the crest placement, I don't know. I really like the white coming through again, that like striation. That's real. I would wear that. I would absolutely.
I would 100% wear this too. And I think that for me, this is going God tier.
Yep, I would agree.
And I'll give you a reason why. If you're, I know you're agreeing with me, but if you didn't agree with me, let me explain myself just briefly. I think we should give them some extra credit for being a Scottish team and not necessarily having like the biggest backing. Like they're not a Prem team. They're not sponsored by Nike. This is sponsored by Umbro, I think. Yeah, Umbro. Like, who does some good kits. I don't want to knock Umbro, but what I'm saying is that they're being really creative and pushing the boundaries for what they should be able to do.
Agreed.
Because a lot of teams in that league go with like a very standard base template kit, smack a crest on it, and that's about it. So I think this one exceeds all expectations to me.
It also looks like it's one of those shirts that's like super insanely soft. It
looks like a blanket that you just want to like a cozy snuggie on you. I agree. I think it's a great kit. It might be one of my favorites. It doesn't beat the Leipzig kit, but it's right up there. Okay, so we're actually going to go out of order because I want to bring up an interesting little point here. And we're going to go next to the Celtic third kit, who is also a Scottish team. And arguably, Rangers fans, don't blow up the comments, the most popular team in Scottish football. So if you look at the most popular team to a relatively unknown team in Scottish football, in Hearts, the one we just looked at, where would you say this stacks up?
This one's not for me. Like right off the bat, I don't like the pinstripes. I don't like the offset colors.
Yeah. Even
like that little gap right there, and it's not for me.
It doesn't work at all for me.
No.
Not at all. And I'm glad I laid out all that backstory behind it to kind of give you a softball. I was hoping you're gonna hit it out of the park and say that it's not good, because like I think the fact that Umbro and Hearts have done such a good job on their kit, and this one I can see what they've tried to do, but really when you look into it, what have they tried to do? It's just a green and pink alternating stripe, a very thin stripe at that.
And
Like it looks like a suit almost, like you're trying to make a...
Right. Well, it's like, do you remember when Notre Dame did those like pinstripes?
Yes.
It's like, it almost reminds me
There's something
of
about
that.
Irish and the clover that just doesn't work with pinstripes.
And like how like the red lines almost give the white like a pinkish color to, like a pinkish hue. I don't enjoy that.
So I think that is an attempt at being a pink stripe.
Oh, is it?
I think so, because they've done pink accents before in the past. Yeah, if you can't even just like distinguish if it's a red or a pink, that's probably not good either.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And the last thing I'll say about this before we move on is this type of collar. They've done this on most of the MLS kits this season, this Adidas collar. It's that poofy collar that reminds me of like freshman football when you got the hand-me-down and you put on your pads and the collar that sticks up.
Yeah.
This goes straight to gross for me. This is not a good kit at all. I feel kind of bad for the Juventus kits just hanging out, not for me. It's just kind of all alone in like no man's land here. Okay, so we have 6 kits left. Let's try to move through them pretty quickly. And so the next one we're going to go to is this Paderborn one. And I put this one on essentially for shock value because we've already talked about the color combinations. And then you throw the blue crest and sponsor on top of that. This is not for me at all.
So like how long does it take to put on the clown makeup?
That's gotta...
Since they're going...
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Straight to gross.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about this
Yep.
kit. Okay, I'm glad we agree on that. Okay, moving on. We have our next kit. This one is a series of kits, but I've chosen the Man City one out of it because I think they're probably their most popular of all the Puma teams, the biggest club out of all of them. And it's this template of sponsor, block, just club name, and that's it. I don't like this at all.
Really?
I don't like this at all.
It's okay. There's some that are better than others for sure.
I'll agree with that. I think this AC Milan one is kind of okay.
Yeah, I like that one. I do like that navy blue, the mint green.
The mint green.
I do like the mint green.
The colors are nice.
I don't know. Yeah, the one with like the neon greens too much, like the darker blue with like the patches or whatever.
So for me, this goes into not for me. And the reason why is because if you look at these, so like let's bring up the City one. This is a kit, right? That's going to be sold at probably like $90 a piece.
Yeah.
This is like if you go into Walmart and they don't have the licensing for like your local team, and so they just slap on whatever writing they can to be part of it, kind of thing. Like this is like a $15 shirt to me, not a $90 kit made by Puma.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I still like it though.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Okay, so I think would meh be appropriate, or do you really feel strongly about your like in this one?
I would be okay with meh, because with meh it's like it's okay, not for me, sort of territory.
It's right on that line. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, our next one is an Austrian team, and that is Rapid Vienna. And the only reason why I picked this is because it's just what's going on to me. There's so many colors going on, so many patterns and different stripes and shapes, and the way they've done the sleeves green.
Yeah.
I don't understand this one at all.
I think if you took away the giant like sticker on the front, it would be okay, but I don't know. That's somebody who's very, very proud of their team.
Yeah.
If
you're gonna wear this, you're very, very proud of your team.
Yeah.
For me, blue, green, and red almost never work together. It's bordering on gross, but it's just not for me.
Yeah. Man, those actually go together really well.
They do, don't they?
It's funny. We definitely have like a certain taste that you can see.
Yeah. I think there is a line of demarcation for each one of these. It's like that's the standard here. Okay, so we have 3 more kits left. Let's move on to Preston North End, a League One or I might have just slandered them. League One or Championship team, one of the two. And it's this Green Bay Packers looking thing. Not for me. Again, I think the green and the white, or the green and the yellow, almost never works together. It's just not for me.
I don't like the Packers look to it, but it almost reminds me a little bit of Oregon's colors when they do like the green and yellow.
I can see that.
I like it. It's not like blow me out of the water, but I like it.
it's not for me. You seem to like it a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So I think this is another meh kit.
Yeah,
probably.
We can meet in the middle
Okay,
there.
2 more because I think these are the most polarizing ones that we have left. There's a really good one for me and a really bad one for me. And so the next one is our Nuremberg 3rd kit. This one for me is a standout. And I'll give you a couple reasons why, and I'll let you kind of mull over what you think about this one. This is a 2nd Bundesliga team, so not necessarily the biggest backing.
Mm-hmm.
They've just switched sponsors to Adidas, and they've come right off the bat with a fresh kind of design.
Mm-hmm.
They're generally really plain. They're normally this burgundy, brownish red color. So what they've done with this, I think, is really good. Personally, for me, this is indecent.
Yeah, it's okay to me. I don't like the almost camo-esque slices.
The tiger stripe looking thing is a little bit much.
I'll give them points for creativity, but to me it's just okay. I feel like they're like the nemesis of the Mighty Ducks. Like they're definitely like the bad team in some Disney Channel movie.
I also want to say that I don't know who this player is, so please forgive me, but he looks like the new Captain America, who also pisses me off. So this isn't doing much for me.
Not Captain America.
Almost for that, I have to throw it just in gross because of that character. But I think we're probably a meh on this one.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, it's closer to decent for me, but meh is probably fine. And the last one we have is Brentford, and this one is basically it's a yellow kit with a Hollywood bet sponsor right in the middle. All yellow. They're a red and white team generally.
Mm-hmm.
So just based off your thoughts, what are you thinking about that one?
I think right where you put it actually might be.
right there. I was gonna bring up a picture of it, but I think not for me. Subconsciously, I just kind of threw it right in there.
It's the yellow is very, very strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, from the thumbnail, it looks clean. Yeah, that
with the faded star. This is almost like a Soldier Boy logo or something.
Hey, his gaming, is on point.
He sold a lot of consoles.
Yeah.
I think he's over 1,000 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't actually know that.
It's not great, but my taste.
I agree. I think it lives right there, and I like kind of the balance that we have to this. Meh, obviously a little bit more filled up, which is probably fine. We kind of probably anticipated that. But so one more thing before we close this out. I think we've done a good job, but I'm gonna give you 1 pass to pick one of these to move to a different tier, and I can't object to it. If you get 1 pass, which one are you picking and where are you taking it?
I think that baseball collar, that baseball 70s collar has to go into the not for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would drag that one down.
Ooh, that one, it hurts me a little bit because I do like that kit, but I'm fine with that. And another one that you did not like, this Venetia away kit, I really love. And just to give us a little bit more balance, it's going straight to God tier. It's going straight to God tier. I just love that kit so much.
I honestly, another one that I thought about doing is this, the Liverpool. I honestly wouldn't be okay. I would be okay if that went up to God too.
Like, I would agree with you. I would agree with you. I think if we look at, so if we put it up there tentatively, these 4 kits in decent, I think all belong together.
Yeah.
These 4 kits here, minus the Venetia one, because I know you're gonna have feelings about that. But I think that these all work together as well. I think they're all of that standard.
Because for me, like, I have to absolutely love a kit. Like, if I'm going to drop, close to $90 or 90 pounds, so like $120 or whatever with shipping and stuff. I know this because I just recently got a jersey.
Yeah.
Those 4 are worth it. Those 4 are like, I'm making an investment for my own self and enjoyment.
Those 5, I would rock all 5 of those.
-1 for me. Yeah.
Those 5 all take the cake for me as the best one.
Yeah, and then maybe 1 in the decent. I think maybe if you get that, black and gold and very Miami, I would bring up the Chelsea one of like that. That would be 1 in the decent that I would probably get. For
me, the PSG almost goes up there. I don't want to throw it straight away because it is a tier below, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think we've done a good job here. I think this looks pretty good. We did get more banter out of this than I thought initially when we were agreeing on every single one of them. But yeah, I think overall, we did a solid job.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with this. If you guys are happy with it, leave a like. If you're not happy with it, leave a dislike, and be sure to comment which ones are your favorite, which ones are not your favorite, and if you have any other ones that you'd want to see, and maybe